With August already here and full migration underway, most birds have already began or finished their yearly molt. As a result, feathers are everywhere, providing you with the unique opportunity to familiarize yourself with the birds that frequent your yard. So in this video, we're talking about 20 common bird feathers. Hope you like it. 20. The Canada Goose. A common sight around ponds and other water bodies, you're almost guaranteed to find Canada geese feathers in the summer months. The feathers of these geese are larger than mallard feathers and are usually brown or white. 19. The Great Blue Heron. Despite being a relatively common water bird, you have to have a little more luck to spot even a single feather from this heron species, as they don't tend to roost in areas accessible or near humans. The feathers of this species are most likely to be grayish blue, but like with all other birds, this may vary depending on where the bird feather is from. 18. The Mallard. The most common only summer duck in most United States during the summer months, you're almost guaranteed to find feathers from the species around lakes and ponds. The feathers from mallards are highly variable in coloration, with some being white with brown splotches, others being different shades of brown, and finally with patches of iridescent blue. 17. The Mississippi Kite. Despite being super common during the summer months, Mississippi kite feathers are rarely found, unless two of them happen to have a fight or land right in your backyard. If you find a light gray feather, it's likely from an adult Mississippi kite, but if it also has rusty streaks on it, then it's more likely to be from a juvenile or recently fledged bird. 16. The Barred Owl. A common owl in forests and other wooded areas. It's not unlikely for you to find a few feathers from this bird in your yard if you have trees nearby. The feathers of these birds are extremely recognizable, with brown streaks that are whitest at the center and varying amounts of light-brown wash in the lighter areas. 15. The Red-Shouldered Hawk. The most common year-round hawk in many areas, red-shouldered hawk feathers are a common sight in the backyard. As a general rule, this hawk's feathers have brown stripes and a light beige wash in the white areas that tends to be darker around the main shaft. 14. The Northern Mockingbird. Northern mockingbird feathers are extremely similar to other birds' feathers, being white, gray, or black and white. As a result, habitat and other cues may help you confirm if the feather you found is truly a mockingbird feather. 13. The Eastern Bluebird. A common suburban bird. The only other bird you can confuse its feathers with is a blue jay. Key features of bluebird feathers are a light blue iridescence, lack of barring, and if from the underside, overall orange coloration. 12. The Brown Thrasher. Despite having brown feathers like almost all the other birds on this list, brown thrasher feathers are very recognizable, being a light rusty brown color overall and possibly white with black splotches if from the underside. It's unlikely for you to find a feather from this species, especially during the summer months, as they hide in dense vegetation, rarely visiting backyards. 11. The House Finch. With their bright red head and chest, you would suspect that the house finch feathers would be red, too, but this is not the case, as house finch head and chest feathers are too tiny to ever be seen. As a result, you're more likely to find dark gray-brown feathers on the ground after they visit your feeders. 10. The American Goldfinch. Like their previously mentioned finch relatives, do not expect to find bright yellow feathers on the ground from your neighborhood goldfinches, as goldfinches' tail and wing feathers are a complicated pattern of black and white. 9. The Koana Wren. A common entertaining wren, their feathers are unfortunately not as colorful as their personality. So if you happen to find a brown feather on the ground, there's always a good chance that it's a Koana Wren feather, but the amount of light-colored feathers makes a definite ID near impossible. 8. The Chipping Sparrow. Another common bird during the summer months, the feathers of these birds are unfortunately almost indistinguishable from a lot of other summer bird feathers. Do note that the feathers from the wings are gray overall, with perhaps a thin outline of brown on the edge of the feather. 6. The Mourning Dove. A recognizable common dove, this bird is unfortunately a frequent meal for hawks and other predators, meaning that if you find a pile of feathers in your backyard, it's most likely from this bird. The tail feathers from the mourning dove are very characteristic, being brown or gray, with lighter colored or white tip. Do note that feathers from the rest of the body are a plain gray ground overall. 5. The American Robin. Like with several other birds on this list, it's super unlikely for you to find bright orange feathers on the ground from American robins because of the minuscule size of the fluffy breast feathers. As a result, you have a bigger chance of finding gray-brown feathers with a white tip. 4. The tufted titmouse. An adorable and characteristic bird, the feathers from the tufted titmouse are unfortunately very plain, usually being gray. Do note that feathers from the underside will be white or orange. 3. The coronet chickadee. A very widespread backyard bird that often congregates with the previously mentioned tufted titmouse. Feathers from this bird are often spotted in feeders, bird baths, or on the ground. When identifying feathers from this bird, they are nearly indistinguishable from the previously mentioned tufted titmouse feathers, only being slightly smaller. 2. The blue jay. A bright blue funny and common jay, the feathers from this bird are a sight to behold, only being possibly confused with bluebirds. Defining features of blue jay feathers include brighter blue iridescence, barring, and an overall larger size. 1. The northern cardinal. The only common red bird in many areas, the feathers of the northern cardinal can only be confused with summer tanagers. Do note that females have overall white-brown feathers with a small amount of red tint, particularly on the tail and wing feathers. In summary, during the summer months, you can spot a variety of colorful bird feathers as birds go through their molts, preparing for the winter ahead. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share, and like.